So I really like finding little moments of physicality and like particular mannerisms that kind of define and expand on character traits. And I noticed one for Steve that I really want to talk about. So right before doing something big, Steve sort of does this little flicker with his eyes. Like he kind of just like looks off center and then like commits to this huge physical action. I first noticed it here in season 2 when he realizes that he needs to put himself between Max and Billy. And then earlier in season 2, he does it here when he realizes that he needs to be the one to go out and draw the demodogs out. So see, he does that focused pause and then movement. You can also see it here, obviously, in season 3 when he leaps in front of this guard. But also in season 3, he does it when he realizes that the mall gang is in trouble. He has this pause, run, and then this fucking insane action that he does. There are also a few moments where we don't see the look, but we can kind of fill in the gaps that it happened just before or just after the camera was on him. We have it here in season 4 when he decides that he obviously is going to be the one to leap off of the boat. And then also, of course, we have it in the first moment, the best moment of his character defining decisions. And it's not like I'm adding anything new to the discourse, pointing out that Steve like leaps into action. But what I like is having this visual moment of like the fulcrum point of his behavior, this moment of stillness on the precipice of him totally changing the trajectory of his actions. And all this actually reminds me a lot of stuff that he talked about in his college admission essay. He says in there something like, I can either make the 2-point shot and tie or the riskier 3-point shot and win. The clock is ticking down and I, Steve Harrington, have the ball. And there's something in that I think really resonates with this moment of stillness and this big decision. And what I really like is once you're looking for this visual indicator of Steve's decisions, you can pick up on some moments of like almost, and there's one in particular I wanted to talk about. When they're trapped in the mall, I'm pretty sure that if Elle hadn't caused the distraction, Steve was milliseconds away from jumping out and sacrificing himself basically for the others, which is super scary because he would have just gotten obliterated by them. And that's kind of the plot idea that gets me the most because I can't get this thought out of my head of Steve gearing himself up to jump into the fray, having this moment of like decision he's going to leap into danger just for someone to leap in front of him because they have noticed that he has this tell. I just think there's such good angst potential there, especially in an AU where Eddie's still around for the final battle. And speaking of Eddie, there's this slight variation on the look that he does with a little bit more resignation. And in one case, he commits himself to an action, and then in the other, he stops himself from something. And I kind of see it echoed here. Do I think this is there on purpose? No. Do I think that matters? Also, no. I don't think it's always about picking up something that was purposefully left there for me to find, but instead making something mean something because I want it to. So I don't know what Steve was on the verge of doing there, but it's fun to imagine.